Self-avowed Republican Mr. Rajan, who presented the controversial new BBC documentary The Princes and the Press, made the comments in articles written for The Independent in 2012. The remarks were made before he joined the BBC, and he has today apologised. In an open letter to the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge after they announced they were expecting their first child in December 2012, Mr. Rajan called on the couple to renounce the luxuries of royal patronage and aristocracy as he described their public role as a total fraud. Mr. Rajan said, "Neither of you have a special claim on the glorious city of Cambridge, so quit pretending that you do." In another column on the Diamond Jubilee in January 2012, Mr. Rajan accused the Duke of Edinburgh of being a racist buffoon and described Prince Charles as scientifically illiterate. He added of the royals, aside from the Queen whose public image is crafted by an ever-expanding team of propagandists, this clan is unusually full of fools. Mr. Rajan's past comments were highlighted by the Daily Mail's Richard Eden after The Princes and the Press sparked controversy. The second installment on the two-part programme presented by Mr. Rajan aired on BBC Two on Tuesday. The documentary explored the relationship between Prince William, Prince Harry and the media. But the show prompted a furious reaction from Buckingham Palace, Clarence House, and Kensington Palace. The three royal households took the rare step of issuing a joint statement to the broadcaster. Taking to Twitter today, Mr. Rajan said he regrets his previous comments. He said, "In reference to very reasonable questions about some foolish commentary from a former life, I want to say I deeply regret it. I wrote things that were rude and immature, and I look back on them now with real embarrassment, and ask myself what I was thinking, frankly. I would like to say sorry for any offense they caused then or now. I am completely committed to impartiality and hope our recent programs can be judged on their merits." A BBC spokesman said, "This article predates Amol's work at the BBC. Once journalists join the BBC, they leave past views at the door. Amol is an experienced BBC journalist who reports on all of the topics he covers in an impartial way and in line with the BBC TMS editorial guidelines. All BBC current affairs output is required to be impartial." He explained, "This new book inferring that Charles was racist is nonsense. He just asked an innocent question when he asked what color the baby would be. That's TMS just curiosity that most people have, and it can never be answered until the birth. When I married Doria and she was pregnant with Meghan, some of our friends asked the same question, and they were not racists, they were just curious. It was nothing more than a simple innocent question. The very same with Prince Charles. It TMS very apparent that my strong Scottish, English genes were dominant." Mr. Markle also told Mr. Wotton whoever asked the question was doing so innocently and could show someone was inherently racist. A new US book was written by Christopher Anderson called Brothers and Wives, Inside the Private Lives of William, Kate, Harry and Meghan, which points the finger at Prince Charles. The book alleges that Prince Charles questioned the skin tone of Archie in 2017 on the morning Harry and Meghan announced their engagement. It claims Charles spoke to Camilla and asked, "I wonder what the children will look like," which saw Camilla somewhat taken back. A claim that has been vehemently denied by the prince's representatives. Jeremy Irons says Meghan Markle's struggle in royal life is huge shame for our monarchy. Kate's mother Carol Middleton shares glimpse of George, Charlotte and Louis Christmas. Meghan Markle's awkward moment with Gary Barlow after she thought he joked serious. A spokesperson for Prince Charles commented on the allegations against him and said, "This is fiction and not worth further comment." Prince Harry is also writing an autobiography about his time in the royal family and the army, which is expected to be published next year. In a new My5 documentary titled 2021, The Queen's Terrible Year, royal experts discussed Harry's book. Andrew Neil said, "The book itself may cause the royal family more anguish because it has never really been done before. The Duke of Windsor did write a book, but years and years after his abdication. Harry's gone down a road for which there is no good ending because every book will have to be more sensational than the last. It's almost like he's still settling scores. Dan Wootton tonight airs on GB News at 9 p.m. from Monday-Thursday. Broadcaster was due to publish a 5-part podcast alongside the controversial documentary series exploring the relationship between the royal family and the press. However, it has reportedly been delayed amid concerns about how Buckingham Palace will respond to the second episode. BBC sources who spoke to The Telegraph admitted that the podcast, also hosted by media editor Amol Rajan, will instead be released as a box set at a later date. One claimed it was still in production as they awaited royal reaction to last night's TMS episode. The second episode of the series, being broadcast at 9 p.m. tonight on BBC Two, focuses on the departure of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The BBC approached Buckingham Palace, Clarence House and Kensington Palace for comment about the princes and the press. They provided the following joint statement: "A free, responsible and open press is of vital importance to a healthy democracy. However, too often overblown and unfounded claims from unnamed sources are presented as facts, and it is disappointing when anyone, including the BBC, gives them credibility." Additional reporting by Millie Cook and Isabella Marsons. Meghan Markle, 40, and Prince Harry, 37, stepped away from royal duties in 2020. The couple, along with their first child Archie, now 2, moved to the US to pursue a financially independent life away from the firm. Since then, the Sussex family has grown, with the latest addition being baby Lilibet Lily trademark Diana, who was born in June. The baby, who is the Queen TM's 11th great-grandchild, was named after Her Majesty, although it is understood the pair are yet to meet. Since their move to the US, Prince Harry has only returned to UK soil on 2 occasions, and neither times with his wife and children in tow. The Duke of Sussex returned to Britain in April to attend the funeral of Prince Philip, who died aged 99. He also returned in July to unveil a statue of his late mother, Princess Diana. The Duke was joined by his brother Prince William as they unveiled the commemorative work of the Princess of Wales at the sunken garden of Kensington Palace. Since then, he has returned to his Montecito property with his family. The couple undertook a 3-day visit to New York back in September, marking their first public appearance since the birth of their daughter. However, over the past week, a heavily mutated COVID variant has been identified, which has been rapidly labeled a variant of concern by the World Health Organization. The new variant, named Omicron, makes any potential UK visits from the Sussexes unlikely. Stricter measures requiring people travelling to the UK to take a PCR test and isolate in the days following their arrival were announced by the government on Saturday. The variant has mutations that theoretically help it to spread more quickly, meaning there could be further restrictions placed on travel that would prevent the family from coming across the pond. This means it may be a little while longer before Queen Elizabeth II, 95, can meet her namesake. This is not the first time that COVID-19 has impacted the couple though. Following the Duke of Edinburgh TM's funeral in April, Harry is understood to have returned to Frogmore Cottage, the property he and wife Meghan were gifted by the Queen following their 2018 wedding. This was in line with COVID rules in force at the time, which stated that people travelling to the UK must isolate for 10 days. It is understood that he was allowed to attend the funeral on compassionate grounds, but the rules stated he must remain in isolation at all other times. At the time, Meghan was pregnant with baby Lilibet, and was advised not to travel by her doctors. She also noted that Lilibet has begun to teeth and that 2-year-old Archie loves to dance. She also said that her husband loves their life in California, adding, "We TM've just been able to spend a lot of time at home, and creating our home. We TM re just happy."